In the quiet little fishing village of Alnor, nestled by the gentle embrace of the turquoise sea,
lived a fisherman named 𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞. The sun knew him well, kissing his skin a deep brown, and the sea salt had woven itself into his beard.
For years, his hands, calloused and strong, had expertly cast nets, pulling in the ocean's bounty. He was known not just for his skill, but for his quiet, unshakable faith.
But lately, it seemed the sea had forgotten his name.
Day after day, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of rose and gold,
𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 would push his small, weathered boat, the 𝐕𝐵𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞, into the calm waters.
He'd cast his net with a hopeful prayer, his heart full of trust.
Yet, day after day, his net came back empty.
It was as if the fish, once his friends, now danced just beyond his reach, their silver scales glinting mockingly in the sun.
Meanwhile, the other fishermen returned to shore with their boats low in the water, their baskets overflowing.
Laughter and cheerful haggling would fill the air as they sorted their catch. There was old Abu Ali, his face a road map of wrinkles, always with a hearty laugh and a story to tell.
There was young 𝐸𝐞𝐿, full of energy and pride, his muscles straining as he hauled in heavy nets.
𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 would watch from a distance, a knot tightening in his stomach, yet he'd force a smile and congratulate them.
He'd sit on the warm sand, mending his own perfectly fine net, a silent question echoing in his heart.
His wife, Fatima, would meet him at the door each evening.
She never asked about the catch anymore. She could see the answer in the droop of his shoulders.
Instead, she'd greet him with a warm embrace and a simple meal of bread and dates, the last of their savings dwindling away. Allah is the best of providers, my love, she would say, her own worry hidden behind a veil of serene trust. His timing is perfect. 𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 would nod, his faith a flickering candle in a growing storm of doubt.
He felt a deep sense of shame, of failing his family, and the emptiness of his boat mirrored the growing emptiness he felt inside. One afternoon, as the sun beat down mercilessly, 𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 sat polishing the wood of the 𝐕𝐵𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐿,
a task he'd done 100 times to keep his hands busy. He saw Abu Ali struggling near the shore, his brow furrowed in frustration. The old man was trying to mend a large, gaping hole in his best net, his aging fingers fumbling with the thick twine. This tear is as wide as a shark's grin. Abu Ali grumbled to himself. Without a second thought, 𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 walked over. Assalamu alaikum, Uncle Ali, he said gently. Let me help you with that.
My hands are idle, and your eyes look tired. Abu Ali looked up, surprised. Then relief washed over his face.
Walaikum assalam, my son. Your help is a gift from the heavens. 𝐕𝐶𝐫𝐬𝐿's fingers, nimble and sure, flew across the net. He didn't just patch the hole. He reinforced the weak spots, his knots tight and even. The work was familiar, comforting.
It quieted the anxious voices in his head.
As they walked, Abu Ali shared stories of his youth, of storms weathered and legendary catch-up.
For the first time in weeks, 𝐕𝐶𝐫𝐬𝐿 felt a genuine smile reach his eyes.
The next day, as 𝐕𝐶𝐫𝐬𝐿 was preparing his empty boat for another pointless trip,
He saw 𝐸𝐿 and his brother arguing over a hopelessly tangled net.
it was a chaotic mess of rope and floats. It's ruin!
𝐸𝐿 shouted, kicking the sand in frustration. 𝐕𝐶𝐫𝐬𝐿 approached them calmly.
Patience, brother,
He said,
every knot made can be unmade. He spent the next 3 hours with them, his calm demeanor slowly soothing their tempers. He showed them a trick his father had taught him, a way of seeing the pattern in the chaos.
slowly, painstakingly, the tangled mess became a functional net once more.
Word began to spread through the village.
𝐕𝐶𝐫𝐬𝐿, the unlucky fisherman, had a golden touch with nets.
Soon, a small line of fishermen would form by his boat each afternoon.
One needed a new float line attached, another had a tear from a sharp coral reef. Yusuf helped them all. He never asked for payment. The work itself was his reward.
He found purpose in the intricate weaving, in the shared stories, in the grateful smiles.
He was so busy helping others that he rarely even cast his own net anymore.
The albaki sat, clean and ready, but mostly unused.
Some villagers whispered amongst themselves. Poor Yusuf, they'd say. He's lost his nerve.
He's given up fishing to become a net mender.
But Fatima saw it differently.
She saw the light returning to her husband's eyes, the heavy weight lifting from his shoulders.
He was connecting with his community, serving them with the skills he had.
One evening, as the sun began its fiery descent into the sea, casting long shadows across the beach, Yusuf was putting away his mending tools. He looked up to see a crowd approaching.
It was Abu Ali, 𝐏𝐞𝐬𝐞, and nearly every fisherman from Al-Noor. His heart sank a little.
He thought perhaps they'd come to pity him, or to finally tell him to stop loitering on the shore. But Abu Ali stepped forward, his eyes twinkling.
Yusuf,
He began, his voice carrying across the quiet beach.
4 weeks you have sat here, and your hands have not been idle.
You fixed my net, and the next day I had the biggest catch of the season. You helped Khalid, and his family ate well all week.
You have helped every single one of us.
As he spoke, the other fishermen stepped forward one by one.
They didn't come with empty hands.
From their own baskets, filled with the day's successful haul, they began placing fish into Yusuf's empty one.
Silvery mackerel, plump red snappers, and heavy groupers began to pile up. Yusuf stared, his eyes wide with disbelief, as his basket overflowed onto the sand around it.
Khalid clapped a hand on Yusuf's shoulder.
Your share was not in the deep sea this month, brother, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Your provision, your risk, was waiting for you right here, in the nets of your brothers. Tears welled in Yusuf's eyes, but these were not tears of sorrow or shame.
They were tears of overwhelming gratitude. He looked at the faces around him, faces of friends, of community, of family. He looked at the mountain of fish, more than he could have caught in a week.
And he looked at his own hands, the hands that had mended nets instead of casting them.
He remembered Fatima's words. Allah is the best of providers. His timing is perfect. His sustenance hadn't come from where he expected it.
It hadn't come from his own struggle against the waves. It had come through his service to others, through his kindness, through the hands of his community.
The sea had been empty, but his village was full.
As the fishermen departed, leaving Yusuf and Fatima with a bounty that would last for weeks, Yusuf looked out at the horizon.
The last sliver of the sun disappeared, painting the sky in deep purples and oranges. He finally understood. Sometimes, when one door closes, it's not to leave us in the dark. It is to make us turn around and see all the other doors that have been open all along. His blessings hadn't been lost at sea. They were waiting for him on the shore, woven into the very fabric of the community he had chosen to serve.
His net of kindness had brought in the greatest catch of all.
Thanks for watching. Remember to be kind, because you never know how and when your blessings will find you. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires the heart.
See you next time.